Of Cal State Long Beach. This is K-Beach Radio, kbeach.org, and K-Beach FM, 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Before we start the show, I want to let you all know, the views, opinions, beliefs, and statements expressed are not necessarily those of K-Beach Radio and Otaku Hourly. They are, in fact, of the host, guest, and/or caller. K-Beach Radio and Otaku Hourly hold no responsibility for the validity and/or accuracy of information. Now, with that out of the way, here we go. Proud to be broadcasting from Cal State University, Long Beach. We are kbeach.org and KBeach FM, 88.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Joining you for coffee at 10 o'clock. This is Otaku Hourly, your backdoor anime hangout.
All right, welcome guys to Otaku Hourly in this ungodly hour of 10 o'clock. I'm your show host, Jonathan Josar Beltran. Here with me today is my guest over here.
Oh, Marvin Hidalgo?
He is the CSULB Idol Research Group, so welcome.
Thank you.
John Sloan.
He's my guest. Go ahead.
And Steven, a.k.a. Taka Yamato.
Yes, and we have three special guests, including Marvin Hidalgo. We have the actual president of A to J Connections, hosting networks all from NorCal, SoCal, to even places in Thailand and just recently Britain. I'd like to introduce you all, Manuel Figueroa.
Woo! Thank you for having me.
And in addition, on the Skype channel, we have Heidi, the project leader of A to J Connections, the Idol branch, and also translator. Welcome, Heidi.
Hello.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about something that we've been pretty much joking around and also just, loving.
Is it Perfect Blue?
Well, okay. That is a dark thing. However, that's still idol anime, which is what we're going to be talking about. Idol anime.
Yeah, I thought I was talking about Perfect Blue.
No, not yet. Not yet. So, let's all go ahead and... oh gosh, my voice sucks right now. Manuel, I want to start it off with you. What is idol anime?
Well, simply put, the title just tells you right there. It's anime that features idols.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
revelation!
Yeah,
exactly.
Gasp.
It's that simple. It can be that simple,
Gasp.
but it can also be that complicated, depending how you want to look at it.
But what do you mean by complicated?
Well, even though idol anime is kind of considered its own genre, it really crosses over into many others. It's not, some of them can follow the idols on their journey to become idols, or, to become popular idols, I should say. And others can even include things like robots and horror. We talked about Perfect Blue, so lots of things like that. So
interesting. Heidi, how about you, since you are in charge of the idol branch?
My answer would be pretty similar, but yeah, it's anime that features idols, tells their story, or it might not be just about idols. It could be about something else that has idols that are also in that world, in that story. Maybe not as a main character, but they're there for sure.
And what are some the early instances of seeing anime idols?
I guess a very early older one would be Creamy Mommy or something like that.
Okay. Because I know that Macross is at least what got anime idols to the West, if I'm not mistaken, especially with Frontier and Delta, right?
Definitely, but the original Macross had a hand in that too, because the original Macross was brought over to the U.S. in somewhat of a butchered format.
Oh, really?
That's a very controversial topic, so I'll just leave it there. But some of the content, the songs, still made it over, just in translated versions. And of course, whatever you think about that show, the U.S. version, it did garner interest in the original Japanese. So those got brought over, and like Heidi mentioned, Creamy Mommy, that's really huge for like idol anime in the 80s as well.
So tell me more about Cream and Mame, because I've never heard of this thing.
Heidi, do you care to explain that one?
Let's go.
It was kind of a magical girl meets idol anime.
Yeah.
Think Sailor Moon, but singing. And like, I'm pretty sure, I haven't actually seen it myself, so it might not be accurate, but I'm pretty sure it's a younger girl who is able to transform into an older girl to become an idol or something along the lines of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually the big plot point there, is that she transforms into an idol. And like Heidi said, like think Sailor Moon, think Cutie Honey, some of the earlier, magical girl anime, and there you go.
Oh,
that's
wow.
Creamy Mommy for you in short.
So instead of like magic, it's just like, oh, she becomes popular by becoming an idol.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. There's another anime idol show from the 80s, and it's an original. Actually, I think it's early 90s. I don't know the exact time frame. Called Key the Metal Idol, where basically the plot is there's a robot who wants to become Love to become like human. So she becomes an idol.
Okay, what is this?
So she becomes an idol to gain the love of all the fans, and that's like the plot of that show. It's actually a really good one, and it's funny you mentioned that.
Wait, so a robot's trying to become an idol?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Or the affection?
to like get the affection of her fans, and like it's an amazing plot point.
Senpai, please notice.
I not to go off topic, but I was thinking about the Dragon Ball Z where Krillin marries Android 18. I was like, whoa, okay.
Android 18 idol.
It's Android 18 the idol.
Oh my god.
I'm curious because since idol anime has become like one of the more popular things, like how and why did this thing become popular in the first place?
Well, think shows like Macross and Creamy Mommy and even later Key, they came at a very, very key point, like in the 80s, when idols themselves were hitting their stride and becoming huge. And especially in the 80s, like I guess it kind of happens a bit more now, but in the 80s especially, you look at the popular music of Japan, and it was idol music. So it's kind of like this weird mix where it's like, is it really idol music because it's so popular? But it still was. They were still considered idols, and like all the huge stars of the day, Seiko Matsuda, Minako Honda, Akira Nakamori, all these idols, in turn made the anime idol shows popular as well.
Got you.
Do you think it's like more popular now though, as it's ever been before since the 80s? Because when you really think about that time during the 80s, it's kind of more like you kind of think of like older anime like Cowboy Bebop and stuff like that. But like nowadays, like with the growing of Idol Master, Love Live, and even some Japanese idol due to the internet, do you feel like idol anime is like kind of more prevalent now than it was back then?
There's definitely, I think, more, and they're definitely more longer running. I definitely think that the anime themselves are far more popular because they're doing a better job of like integrating, music into the shows more than was ever really done before. But that's not to say like the 80s weren't really huge as well, because there were several. It just happens to be, unfortunately, that a lot of people in the U.S. don't know of them because a lot of them weren't translated. Anime as we know it didn't really like cross over yet. Yeah.
Got you. Heidi, what do you have to say about that?
I also agree, but I do think it is a lot more prevalent now. I think one of the main reasons is because so many idol anime now, they integrate the voice actors and actresses actually, becoming the idols in the show, performing, being able to do promotions for the anime as themselves, as the characters. So I feel like that is able to grab a lot more people's attention.
So what I'm hearing is that it's mainly on the characters that are highlighted most?
Maybe.
Got you. And Marvin Hidalgo, since you are the president of the CSULB Idol Research Group, what's your say on that?
Sorry, reiterate the question real quick.
So it's in regards to like the popularity of idols, especially in this day and age.
So pretty much, yes. I feel that idols, anime idols, and as well as idol music has been more popular ever since. It's been spreading around Japan, even here in America, in the Western states, heck, maybe even all around the world.
Okay.
Yep.
And who are some like the more popular anime idols for all of us to know? Because I know Muse is one of them.
Shout out to Muse.
Yeah.
No, not the rock band. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's several. There's Muse, but I think Heidi's probably the best one to ask for this because she's like the anime idol expert, especially when it comes to the groups themselves.
Ooh, let's go. Let's go.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah.
Too much
On
pressure.
the spot. On the
Yeah,
spot.
come on. No
Just
pressure.
Say
No
love live,
pressure.
love live, and love live.
Yes. Okay. Of course, there's Muse, and now there's Aqua.
Yeah.
Muse successor, and of course all of the Idolmaster groups from, the original Idolmaster, Million Live, Cinderella Girls, and now even Side M. So I think those would be probably the most relevant. Yeah.
And then you have other ones like Pre-Prada has a lot of groups. There's Prismy. There's if you go further back, there's tons. There's just so many. Honestly, most idols and idol groups at some point get involved with anime and usually make special units. So the list is infinite.
Really? My gosh.
Yes, I was gonna add in Wake Up Girls.
Oh, Wake Up Girls.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
of
that's
course.
right.
And I think AKB48.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry to say.
Why?
I'm
What's
sorry
going
to
on?
say.
AKB48. If you're talking, Heidi, go ahead.
Yeah. AKB48, more so than it being actual AKB48, it was a selected group of members, and they had their own group called No Name. And yeah, that was a thing for a while. And then a few other groups to mention would be anything involved with Aikatsu. There's like Aikatsu Stars, Dear Stars. There's all kinds of groups involved with that.
And considering like how, like the popularity of these anime idols, how would you sell this to the average Joe in one sentence?
Oh, that's
Yes, without using any graphics or videos.
Yeah, how would you sell this?
Oh God, that's a tough one.
He busted out that question as
I
well.
know how to sell baby metal from a while back. I said, hey, do you like rock music? Now you'll like rock music with Japanese pop idol girls singing in the background.
I was about to say, do you like chocolate?
Do you like karate? Do you want to flip kick someone so hard that some Japanese girl starts squealing?
Heidi's face in that one is classic. Too bad this isn't video. But Heidi, do you happen to have anything you can?
Yeah.
I can't.
No pressure, by the way.
No pressure again.
Oh, okay. Watch this young girl go out there and achieve her dreams. I mean, that's really the premise for idols. It's someone you watch them grow and go out there and achieve what they're wanting to be, and it's kind of like a Cinderella story kind of thing.
Interesting. Wow.
I want to hear what Steven has to say how to sell Idolmaster in one sentence.
Yeah, come on.
Because I'm trying to get in the Idolmaster, but I can't.
Come on, Steven.
I don't know how to sell it to you, Love Life guys.
Okay, try selling it to us. How would you sell Idolmaster? Come on, Steven. Let's do this.
Oh,
I got nothing right now. I got nothing for you right now.
I was about to say, do you like pets or twins? Here you go, Idolmaster.
If you like pets or twins or maybe a clumsy, klutzy idol that trips over herself,
Yeah.
Idolmaster is probably the perfect anime for you.
This is the derp of the anime. So let's go into like some deeper questions. So I know since a lot of the idol anime that I've seen are usually like idol girls. Are there like male idols too?
there are male idols, definitely. The problem with male idols in general, when it comes to like Japan and the music industry in Japan, is that they're so radically different in how they're marketed, how they're, their audience, everything else from the female idol groups. It's really hard to lump them together. They do have similarities, but they're very, very different.
I wanted to add on to it because I started watching the one idol anime that was like Bishonen Male Utapri or something like that, and I noticed like there's like kind of like a cultural like difference between both male idol groups and female idol groups. Male idol groups tend to focus more on kind of more confident Bishonen boys versus female idol groups. It's kind of like they're innocent and cute.
Yeah, like when you talk about female idols, like idol shows, idol groups in general, like Heidi mentioned, the idea is you see this young girl and you basically cheer for her as she progresses in her career, whatever, what have you. You don't quite see that as often in the male idol arc.
No, yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah,
yeah, and don't worry, we'll get back to that after the break.
Blaze in the steel. Bring the heat. Mix it non-stop with the hottest DJ.
Hey guys, what's up? It's DJ Charlie Sharp. Please join me for In the Mix every Monday and Friday from noon to 1. In the Mix features the best in EDM along with artist interviews, giveaways, and LA club happenings. Be here Monday, Friday, 12 noon to 1 on K-Beach Radio for In the Mix.
It's DJ Charlie Sharp in the Mix.
I'm your show host, Jonathan Joestar Beltran. Here with me today is our very special guest in the Skype channel. We have
Heidi from A to J. Nice to meet you.
Yes, representing the Idol branch. And we have the president of A to J Connections,
Manuel. Nice to meet you again.
Yeah, and we also have the very own CSULB president of the Idol Research Group,
Marvin Hidalgo.
And then we have our guest.
John Sloan, but please no Johns.
We have one more. Introduce yourself.
It's Steven, a.k.a. Taka Yamato.
Yay! So if you're just joining us today, we were talking about idol anime, particularly about the difference between male idols and female idols. Manuel, do you mind if you could refresh us on the difference?
Yeah, besides the obvious gender difference, there's actually a lot of differences in how they're marketed. And I mentioned before the break that when you have a female idol or group or soloist, what have you, the idea usually is follow her from her career as, a trainee or, even a normal girl until superstardom. You kind of have a bit of that when you talk about male idols, but a lot of them are just here's a really awesome, cool, hip group. A lot of them are more tied into more, I don't know how to put it, more popular subculture as opposed to idol, otaku type fandom.
Got you. Because I noticed that whenever I see, at least in the mainstream thing with idol animes, idol anime girls are more the cutesy, oh, look, they're so innocent. And then with male idols, it's usually oh my gosh, they're handsome, kind of sexy. Ooh, it's getting steamy right here. Yeah, I watched an episode of Utapri and Starmue. I'm just my gosh, these guys, they're so beautiful. Why am I blushing?
So sparkly.
Yeah. Heidi, do you have anything to add on about the idol animes with that's male centric and whatnot?
The only thing I could really add is that sometimes with male idol anime, which doesn't seem to be so much of a factor with female idol anime, is there's sometimes more of a love interest thing going on. Usually if the main character, whether she's relevant to the idol group or has any involvement, whether or not that's there, if there's a main female, she usually is ending up with one of the guys in the male idol group or being romanced by all of the guys in the idol group. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I did. You know what? That's an interesting thing because I noticed that with shows like Idolmaster or Love Live, it's just we're just concentrating on the girls. And for me as a dude, I'm you know what? I'm gonna pick out best girl. Let's see. Honoka, yeah, you're great.
Don't honk.
Don't honk.
Man, I kind of give it up on my best girl. In the original Muse, I went to a chorus. I was like, Rico, babe.
How can you abandon Umi, dude?
I'm sorry. She was like, you betrayed your family and Hoshino. Now time for you to die.
You have disappointing Kira Buckland. I just want to let you know.
I'm sorry, Kira. I'm sorry.
Time to bring the salt.
Well, Stevie, you can have it with me, so yeah. We're fine.
Yeah. I'm just curious because when talking about anime idols, is it considered J-pop in any sort of way?
Heidi.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the question.
Yeah. So, are idol songs considered J-pop, or can it just be considered its own genre?
I would say it's more of its own genre.
Why is
And
that?
There's many different genres within idol music, so you couldn't really categorize it as one specific genre. And I feel like to the music market itself, it's more seen as its own separate thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, one key point I like to always mention, people ask that a lot, especially if you do panels, they ask that a lot. One key thing I like to always point out is like, oh, does it have its own section in a music store? And a lot of times in Japan, idol music does have its own section. You go to Tower Records and there's an idol section, and it's separate from everything else. So there is, even in Japan especially, there's definitely a separation between idol music and general pop music.
What do you have to say about that, Marvin?
So yeah, I figured actually consider idol anime as their own genre as well, because it's in a sense it does sound like J-pop, but it's really at the same time it's really different aside from J-pop. Its own it's called characteristics, so to say, its own I guess that's it pretty much from what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Got you. How about you, Takayamato? Because you're also an avid idol fan too.
Well, for me, it could definitely be its own genre, but the music itself, I've known to for Macross 7, Firebomb performs a lot of like 80s rock music. So
Right.
that in itself couldn't be its own genre.
Right. And this goes back to the previous question that we asked about, like on the history of idol anime. And do you see a significant difference from the 80s to now?
Definitely, both in terms of the anime style, especially. Like we've all seen the memes, I'm sure, where they show 80s anime versus 2000s anime. And it's I noticed that a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm really old school in a lot of things, so I noticed it a lot. But in the sound as well, because pop music changed. You mentioned or J-pop and idol music the same. Definitely in each time they are to a degree, so they are influenced by the other popular movements in music. So there's huge differences. You can't take a song from Macross that Mari Iijima did as Lin Minmay and look at a Love Live song and put them together.
Yeah.
It's like night and day.
Is it kind of like the parallel difference with how music kind of changes a lot? I'm just gonna go back to what I know more often, the American band. So it's kind of like you had Queen, you had Bangles, and then of course my rap stars, you had Nas in them, and then nowadays it's kind of like EDM and with Drake and God, I hate that thing. But yeah, it's just stuff like that. Kind of I noticed that shift between idol animes and its different style of music. I mean, I know I'm more known for the modern idol like Love Live and stuff, and yeah, it's I could totally see a definite shift since from the 80s till now.
Right. And then what do you have to say about that, Heidi?
Yeah, I'm very much in agreement with everyone. It's influenced by the music in the time, what's popular at the time, by the sound of other idols at the time.
And for me, I feel like knowing the history behind anime idols is just as key as knowing what's the current thing, because at least we see the foundations of it. And what I noticed with at least with the millennial generation, I'm included in this too, it becomes a hard sell when it comes to just recommending them. Oh, hey, go check out the 80s, like Macross and whatnot. It's just it's kind of dated. So how would you guys do that? Work around that?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because if you ever follow me, you know that I love the 80s. I love the retro everything. This is a radio show you can't see. I'm actually wearing a Macross shirt.
Yeah, shout out to Skull Leader.
Yes. So I'm a huge fan of the 80s. Honestly, the biggest way to recommend it, because a lot of people will look at it and they're like, it looks so old. It's just pick out some of the really awesome moments, pick out the really good songs, just play it. A lot of it's timeless. Macross has the Do You Remember Love? Ai Oboete Imasu? It's a very popular song that made its way into Frontier, Macross Frontier. There's new versions of it, and with Ronka Lee and everything. So some of these songs are timeless, and some of the shows are timeless. So it's just honestly, a lot of people just won't watch it. So just kind of like almost just ease them into it with the good stuff, and they're like, oh, that's not bad. Maybe I'll watch the whole thing.
Or would you recommend it like because Macross produces a different kinds of music? Would you kind of say, okay, maybe the animation's dated, but the song's really good?
Exactly. Like I said, that's the biggest thing. It's like listen to the music. That's the animation's not that bad. It's like I personally love like the hand drawn look, which you don't see at all anymore.
Totally. Yeah, as an animator too, it's like I look at it like Macross like a time capsule almost.
Exactly.
So it's like definitely like just check it out as far as like history of even idols and anime go, and have appreciation for the stuff you have now.
And if you watch some of the old like OVAs and whatnot, they have really high production values, and like the animation itself in terms of like the movement and the action and whatnot, it's stuff you don't see today because there's the budgets are different and they cut a lot of corners for digital, so it's there's cool stuff going on there.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
No, because I was about to say, because I was going to transition to more modern, if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah, I was like making a joke with a friend, and I was like, yeah, you're totally right about cutting corners with digital, because like, okay, as much as I have like beef with Idolmaster, I will admit its dancing scenes are really cool because it's animated by A1 Pictures. And then I look at Love Lives, which the sunrise is awful CG, and I'm like, so yeah. So props to like, of course, original animation and just the people who animate very wonderful scenes.
Hey, real off topic. Shout out to A1 Pictures for also animating Porter Robinson's Shelter.
Does that count as an idol anime?
Porter Robinson is totally an idol. So.
Yes, Rand is secretly an idol. Shout out to Porter Robinson. Notice me, senpai.
We'll pick out our glow sticks, man.
Yeah.
Do the Otake.
Oh, dude, I'm totally gonna bring some glow sticks to his
concert. We already have glow
dude.
sticks here. We already have glow sticks here in the studio.
Yeah. This kind of blends in well. Like, what are Otake chants? Because I've heard about those.
All right. So to jump in, first off, the term Otake means half. The first half comes from otaku, and then gay GEI means art. So if you put it together, Otake means I guess otaku art or nerd art in literal translation. So these chanting can include actually being in concerts and actually chanting out for your favorite idols or favorite group during the concerts. And that's for concerts. There's also traditional and modern Otake chanting and dancing. Traditional uses more of hand gestures, whereas the modern actually uses the glow sticks. The glow sticks, of course, can be used in both concert as well as modern dancing. And with the modern Otake dancing, it's more flashy than the traditional moves in traditional Otake.
Because whenever I see like an idol concert, it seems as though that there is some kind of cadence to that. Like, you yourself are a performer in that, and I'm just like, let's just go throw all these like glow sticks all around and stuff like that. So how do we practice that? I'm curious.
So to practice, it's pretty much you have one person, I guess, leading a bunch of people to do the chants, or if you have those same people also listen to the songs before the concert and read the lyrics. Then you can actually pinpoint some areas where to actually say specific chanting in some of the songs. But there's also a thing about Otake in concerts where it's a rule of thumb where if it's a sad song or slow song during the concerts, you don't do the chants. You just do like the hand gestures during the concerts. That's it. No, nothing to say. Nothing. No chanting.
Got you. And is there like any like local idol scenes going on? Because I don't see myself doing this in like, I don't know, like a Muse concert, like the rock band Muse, just like
well, not just Adonia. Holding up my 99-cent glow sticks and be like, yeah.
Well, let's see. There are some certain local For example, Stephanie Yanez. She was in this recent Akiba Fest event in Little Tokyo, and my group and I personally, we did go to her mini performance, and we did a little bit of otage cheering on for her. And that video, those pictures are also posted up on the Facebook page Arcane Maid Cafe. We also had Anime California, where another member of HJ Connections, Tiffany Fuji. Yes. My group and I also went to her mini concerts, and we did her chanting as well.
And like Manuel, how about you? Like, are there any local idol concerts in like SoCal?
Well, as far as like local, you mean local as in they live here as well, or do you mean local
like,
as in
more as in like they perform here?
Well, you mentioned earlier about Tiffany. Tiffany's one of the local, like a local idol. She does a lot of idol performances. Heidi does as well.
Oh wow! Okay, nice.
There's actually, to be honest, like it's kind of hard to talk about the local scene because I travel back and forth from NorCal to SoCal a lot. So there's a much bigger scene for local idols definitely in NorCal.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. But, groups come and perform all the time. Like, we got Momori Clover Z that's coming in a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
And they're doing, they're coming to LA. So, yeah, there's a lot of things. And there's a lot of, fan clubs, Otage clubs, both in NorCal and SoCal. So,
oh, wow.
It's a lot.
So, Manuel, I got a question for you. Would you consider, cosplay, groups, quote unquote, anime idol groups, local anime idol groups? Like just cosplay cover dance groups.
It depends. I honestly, I'm very open to the term idol, anime idols, what have you.
Okay.
If you consider like our rule of thumb whenever we talk about idols is if they consider themselves idols, they're idols. It's such an open, broad term. So I'm more than willing to. If they call themselves idols, they want to be idols. Go for it. You're idol.
Nice. All right.
There you go. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
No, the whole idea is like an idol, like somebody's cheering for you. And a lot of these groups, be they local, be they big, be they only dance covers, be they performing actual vocal songs, they have people cheering for them. So like the concept's there, the idea's there. They're idols.
And that's why I like the idol concept so much. Sorry, but yeah, it's just because it's almost as if it's like. You're kind of like starting from square one to like becoming better. I'm not going with Drake again, all right? But stop it, Marvin. So yeah, apparently, so like that's why I appreciate Love Live a lot and all those other like shows is because it's almost like coming of age. It's like you're starting from where the square one and then you're going big. You're trying to accomplish things. It's like kind of like the everyman accomplishes something bigger, and that's why I think there's just such a wonderful shows.
Yeah, and Heidi, I going off from what you said, John O'Johns, do you like how's it like being your own idol?
It's somewhat difficult to do idol things, idol performances in America. I would say it's very limited to more of like the anime convention scene. It's very hard to find spots to perform outside of any sort of anime-related event. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what do you envision to be like kind of like a really great performance for you? Like not only just you yourself, also like how do you envision your audience to be? Like,
me myself, I would just hope that I am being able to sing and dance to my full ability, not make any mistakes. And for the audience, that there will actually be people that will stay there from start to finish of the show, not just be like, oh, I have some free time and this panel is starting in 5 minutes, so I'll just sit here for 5 minutes and I don't really care, but I'll be looking at my phone. But if there's people that are actually there to be there for you and to maybe even do a little bit of otake, even just have a glow stick and change it to the color that you wear or whatever, that would be great for me.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
So, Marvin, Steven, you got something. I send you guys all the way to NorCal, okay?
Man, I'm not going that drive again. It's too much.
I have family up
It's
there, so maybe
understandable.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'll probably check it out as well.
Yeah, Heidi, when is your next Idol performance?
The next thing I will probably be doing is at KrakenCon. That will be the last thing I am doing in North America because I am moving to Japan in December.
Oh, wow.
But yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, going all over the world from America to Japan.
Meanwhile, us college kids stay here and suffer through.
Hey, there's the exchange program, just saying.
But what are you really doing the exchange program? You're just studying. You're not really like, oh, I get to experience it. But
It's the culture, man.
so
I'm going to be a part of this.
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, going back to anime idols, I do want to address my own curiosity. What does a stereotypical idol fan look like?
That's a tough one because obviously your stereotypical idol fan, the stereotype is like an otaku type.
Yeah.
Like the kind of awkward pseudo shut in, just goes to the lives, kind of mildly obsessive. But I've met a lot of idol fans both here in Japan. It's not really like the stereotype's not totally true. And biggest of all is that you always think of the idol fan as male. But a lot of depends on the idol, but a lot of idols and idol groups do have a huge female following. Obviously, the idol industry is so huge, you need more idols.
Right.
A lot of them want to become idols because they are fans of the idols. So to be honest, it's a very wide open field.
Yeah.
Well, especially because a lot of them have like their best girl on the on their things like buttons and stuff. So I mean, like I said, that's really cool because like if I were to have a ton of Rico buttons, I would totally do that. I mean, I tried throwing money at my computer screen to see if she'd come alive.
It doesn't always work that way.
My $20 bill doesn't work.
I threw my entire wallet.
Yeah, it needs more money. Take my debit card.
Or you just go to a convention, you buy a Jonathan Moore Honoka every time.
So I think to go back to that, I think that it's more, there are different types. So they're really, the stereotype is there, but I don't think it's totally true.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Like, how do you like kind of like denounce that, like kind of like stigma and stuff?
Honestly, just go to an idol live. You'll have, of course, like anything you go to, like you have your stereotypical like rock fan, your stereotypical like metalhead, whatnot.
Yeah.
So you'll have those, of course, but you look at it and it's like it's way more diverse than you probably realize. So yeah.
Yeah, especially coming from me because I'm more of a hip hop and rap kind of guy. Like I went to although my first idol concert experience was like at Anime Expo when a chorus was there. It was like some of that stuff is pretty cool,
Yeah. Another point I do want to bring up is like I'm aware that you're hosting a couple of idol panels for the upcoming PMX, like Pacific Media Expo. Not mentioning any names. I know another group that will be hosting an idol panel as well, but exclusively about the realm of Love Live.
Love Live.
I can't.
Rub Live.
However, it's their first time hosting a panel, so I ask, what are your thoughts about the panel?
I like the idea there's other idol panels out there. There's a couple of reasons why we started doing them, why I started doing them with ADJ Connections. But one of the biggest ones is that there weren't any like that. At least not when I started. So I like to see more.
Oh, wow. Like, is there any like specifics that like specific kind of topics that you want to see other people like talk about?
There's lots, but the good thing about us is we do so many, and I never do this. Well, none of us ever do the same panel twice. Even when like we have back-to-back cons, like we'll change it up, and like much to the headaches of everyone involved, but we'll change it up. And so like my point to that being is that if there is one, usually I'm like, you know what, we'll just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
But there's so many topics. There's underground idols. We do some 18+ idol ones and stuff like that. So there's tons of them. There's tons of topics.
Oh, wow.
And individual groups, individual shows, all of it.
What would be your ideal kind of topic to talk about?
We don't do it as often because it's not as popular with like the mainstream con goer, but we like to do the culture ones, the ones that actually look at the culture behind, idols, like why they're so popular. We did one, but it was kind of like very like classroomy, so we kind of been toning down like some of that stuff and trying to make it more like pop again. But I think those are the biggest ones. They teach you more, and you still see Idol, you still hear Idol music, you know.
Gotcha.
Right. So just to jump in on Joe Star's previous question, so can Love Live represent Idol anime on its own sufficiently?
Yes and no. I think it can because there's so many. It's so like stereotypical with what you think of when you think of idols.
Right.
But Heidi mentioned earlier that there's so many genres within idol music. There's right now there's a huge resurgence with baby metal coming around with this whole underground idol scene that kind of like other groups are trying to be more like edgy and extreme. They were already doing it, but baby metal made it popular. So it's so when you're talking about does it represent idol culture in general and idol, the genre as it is, not really, but definitely it serves as a good gateway, all that good stuff. So,
Right.
And
yeah, go ahead, Heidi. What would you say about that?
I agree. It's definitely very much the stereotypical image of an idol is what you would find in Love Live. But it doesn't encompass everything that there is to be found within anime idols or even just idol music.
Got you. So Love Live should be treated as kind of like the gateway.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And just to one more question for Jonathan's point. So any pointers or suggestions for a successful idol panel for this upcoming panelists?
There's a lot. Like one of the big things I always mention is that you always want to keep it moving. Like,
yes,
because it's a radio show here, so I'm sure you're familiar with this. You don't want dead air.
Yeah.
We do podcasts. And we always have to fill the time. Keep talking. Keep going. Always be engaging is a big one. You can talk forever, and it could be even interesting. But it's like if the audience isn't really being engaged, it's kind of like, maybe I'll leave and catch another panel.
Right.
Make it interesting. Always has some sort of visual aid. I can't stress that enough. Like even if you don't have a full-on PowerPoint, because our PowerPoints aren't that great, but it's always good to see pretty pictures and stuff behind you or something. So and also the biggest thing of all, probably besides the dead air time, the biggest thing of all is to be organized, to know what you're going to say, to time it, to make sure you're not too short, too over. Add a bit of free time to get because things happen when you're at a con, but that's biggest of all.
I agree with you that most definitely.
Yeah, I've been to many panels, idol and not, that are just they didn't really plan it very well.
Yeah. I hope we do this well in the station here.
I hope so.
It's just like, where's the question?
I gotta come up with a joke, quick.
Yeah. Quick, witty one-liner. Go.
Rico's best girl. Don't honk.
No. Honkers is the best girl.
No, it's Rico.
Fight me.
No, we'll fight. We'll fight.
Okay.
Hashtag coterie burp.
Oh, God.
What do you got, Marvin?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've always been curious about this. How about Vocaloid? Do they count as idols too?
That's right.
Well, they definitely do, but once again, when we talk about genres and whatnot, it's kind of its own thing. But definitely they're idols. Definitely there's virtual idols. And if you want to talk about a nice juxtaposition between the topic of anime idols, going back to Macross, there was one of the Macross shows was Macross Plus, and that one had Sharon Apple, who was a virtual idol. And it was very similar to the concept of what Miku's doing now. So yeah, it definitely is, but it's so different. It's basically its own thing.
Oh, wow. How about you, Tiff? How about you, Heidi? What would you say about that?
I think it is and isn't an idol. I mean, Vocaloids are very much treated like idols by fans, I would say. If you go to their performances, you will see people with glow sticks doing otake.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's fans who have their best Vocaloid girl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's different because they're just a voice that anyone can use to make their own songs. So I feel like it's not always particularly used in the way an idol would be. If that makes sense.
So are you saying that it's kind of like this weird gray area.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, dead air.
Dead air. We're just talking about this.
Yeah, fantastic. We are unorganized.
Confirmed.
Yes.
But actually, I want to hear your thoughts about Steven. What do you think? Because I know we always talked about a lot of Vocaloids back in the day. So.
Yeah, I do agree that Vocaloid is definitely could be their own thing since idol itself is a pretty broad term. So it can pretty much include practically anything.
Right. So we'll get back after the break.
What up, guys? This is Gabe Cabanda, and you're listening to KBH Radio. Ow! Hey, this is Master Roshi. You're listening to Otaku Hourly. Bulba, listen to it with me, sitting closely beside me.
I'm your show host, Jonathan Joestar Beltran. Here with me today in the studio, or rather in the Skype feed, is Heidi of A to J Connections. Manuel of A to J Connections. He is the president. The CSULB Idol Research Group, Marvin, and then my guests, John No Johns and Taka Yamato. So, we're about to wrap up this episode. Manuel, do you have anything to add on that we haven't mentioned yet?
I think we covered a lot of it. The problem is there's just so much to talk about.
There really is.
There really is.
Yeah.
Our panels last 90 minutes, and I feel like we never cover it all either. So they're just so much. I think we did we delved into it pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo, 5 stars on Yelp.
Yes.
Yeah. And do you have any upcoming panels coming in?
We do. As a matter of fact, just a quick shout out tonight at 8 o'clock on our Twitch channel. Go to our Facebook, look us up, AJ Connections. We're having a podcast, so we're going to be talking idols there too. So check us out at 8 o'clock tonight live. Heidi will be on that one as well.
Nice.
And but as far as panels go, next weekend you mentioned we're at PMX. Idol specifically, we're doing our 2D idol panel there on Saturday.
Okay.
And we're doing one specifically on BIS. Which is and the BIS family, which is a really, really popular idol group. So that's going to be on Friday. And the following week, we're going to KrakenCon in NorCal, and Heidi will be involved in those panels. We're doing a 2D and a 3D idol anime panel. At anime panels.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So
and
just sorry,
go ahead.
So just to jump in, I do remember Manuel, you did a 18 plus panel in Annie Cali. Are you gonna do that again for PMX or?
We're replacing it at PMX for the BIS panel,
right? Okay.
Because it is 18 plus. It's not quite a hard 18 plus, but it's still 18 plus. So we're doing that one.
Okay.
And then we're doing the normal 18 plus one in future cons.
Gotcha.
Got you. And then Heidi, is there anything you want to add on that we haven't addressed yet?
No.
No. We have covered everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But since you are an idol, is there a way we could follow you?
I think probably the best way would be Twitter. On Twitter, I am on there as my at Heidi Chan des. So if you look up Heidi, I might show up. You could also look me up on YouTube. If you put in Heidi dance cover kind of thing, that'll probably show up.
Awesome.
Too.
Cool. And then how can we get stay in touch with you, Manuel?
Well, I'm everywhere on social media as Alavic_222.
Okay.
But you can go to follow me on AJ Connections. A lot of the interaction there, half the time it's me. So check us out, AJ Connections. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, a-2-jconnections.com. Check us out.
Got you. I'm your show host, Jonathan Joestar Beltran. Here with me today in the studio from the Skype channel is Heidi of A to J Connections, Idol Branch. Manuel Figueroa of A to J Connections, President. The Idol Research Group, President of Cal State Long Beach. Gosh, my voice hurts.
It's Marvin
Hidalgo.
Thank you.
John No Johns.
Please no Johns.
Yes. And Taka Yamato. And we'll all be seeing you in the next Otaku Hourly.